There are some places in the world that were once prosperous. Some of these cities were built with huge investments, but for various reasons, they are now deserted, with abandoned buildings and full of horror and mystery. At night, these places are even more dangerous, and those who have come here want to escape, so these cities are called devil cities. Among them, the city ranked first is particularly terrifying, and the legendary horror is unimaginable. Today, we will take you into these creepy cities and experience the scenes of those once prosperous but now buried by human hands. Like our video? Then don't hesitate and subscribe to our channel now. We will take you to explore cities and stories around the world. First place, Pyramiden, Norway. Located in the Arctic Circle, the small town of Pyramiden has attracted many history lovers and explorers with its unique geographical location and well-preserved buildings. In the early 20th century, the Norwegians discovered this land rich in coal resources and sold it permanently to the Russian government in 1927 for a high return. Subsequently, Russia began to develop Pyramiden on a large scale, initially with only 1,000 residents from Russia. With the development of mining, the town's infrastructure has been continuously improved, attracting more and more young people. But with the disintegration of the former Soviet Union, Pyramiden gradually declined, and government support and subsidies gradually decreased. In the end, all residents left within a few years, and Pyramiden became a world-famous ghost town. Today, walking in the town of Pyramiden, you can still see the traces of life left by the residents who left in a hurry, and many daily necessities are still intact. The town is located on a small island in Norway. The winter here is long, 2/3 of the time is shrouded in darkness, and the temperature often drops to -30 to 40 degrees Celsius. The living conditions are extremely harsh. In addition, there are a large number of carnivorous beasts living around, especially polar bears, which pose a huge threat to the lives of residents. The extreme climate and environmental factors eventually turned this once prosperous town into a deserted ghost town today. Second place, Johannesburg, Africa. Many people may be unfamiliar with the name Johannesburg, but this city is recognized as the crime capital of the world. The $0 shopping phenomenon that is occasionally heard in European and American countries is almost commonplace here. Every moment, people are playing here. Scenes of crazy looting of stores and snatching goods are staged. Johannesburg used to be relatively stable, but since the end of the 20th century, other ethnic groups except blacks have gradually withdrawn, and high-tech industrial companies have also moved out, causing the old city to become a gathering place for blacks. These people occupied the housing that once belonged to large companies through violent means, and in a blink of an eye, this place has become one of the largest slums in the world. The residents of the slums have no stable source of income, and violent crime has become their main means of livelihood. Such an incident happened in Johannesburg. A black passenger proposed to rob a bank on the bus, and it was responded by the whole car. Everyone reached a consensus without knowing each other and asked the driver to drive the car directly to the door of the bank for organized robbery. What's more terrifying is that the police here are also in collusion with the evil forces. A policeman who enforces the law impartially during the day may become a local gangster at night. There is also a saying, if someone approaches you while driving at night, you must run a red light without hesitation because their purpose is to rob you. Even if you call the police, you will not get the protection you deserve. In such an environment, living in Johannesburg is simply terrifying. Third place, Pripyat, Ukraine. This city is well known all over the world. It is located at the junction of Kiev, Ukraine, and Belarus, and is known as a famous ghost town. In the last century, this area was under the unified jurisdiction of the Soviet Union. In order to achieve greater development, the Soviet Union built a super-large nuclear power plant here and built a large number of residential areas and living facilities around it, gradually developing into a small city. But the prosperity of this city lasted only 16 years. In 1986, the Chernobyl nuclear power plant had a shocking explosion that instantly killed all the workers in the nuclear power plant. After the explosion, a large amount of nuclear radiation spread into the air, and all the surrounding residents were contaminated by nuclear radiation, leading to frequent various diseases. In the end, all residents of Pripyat were forced to evacuate. Today, Chernobyl is still a ruin, and no one dares to stay there for a long time. Although decades have passed, according to the most authoritative scientific tests, there are still some places in this town with excessive nuclear radiation, which cannot provide a safe and stable home. This ghost town has become a permanent monument to the nuclear disaster, reminding people of the grim reality of the coexistence of scientific and technological progress and safety hazards. Fourth place, Mumbai. Mumbai, known as the Golden Paradise, is one of the most economically and technologically developed regions in India and an ideal place for the rich. But the other side of Mumbai has earned it the title of Ghost Town. In the 1890s, an infectious disease swept the city, killing nearly 2,000 people a week, causing the population to drop sharply from 800,000 to 760,000. In 2008, Mumbai suffered another brutal series of terrorist attacks, causing more than 30 casualties and destroying the century-old Taj Mahal Hotel. These events have cast Mumbai, a city full of glorious history, in the shadow of tragedy. Today, Mumbai's economic development is extremely unbalanced, and the dividing line between rich areas and slums is extremely clear. Dharavi slum is one of the largest slums in the world, accounting for about 50% of Mumbai's total population. Here, residents have no basic living security, water resources are distributed according to quantity, and there are more than 4,000 cases of typhoid and diphtheria every day. The average life expectancy of the poor is generally less than 60 years old. The influence of religion and racial system has doomed many people to poverty from birth. Gradually, Mumbai has become a city that young people choose to escape from. Mumbai is a paradise for the rich and a hell for the poor, becoming a city of great contrast and contradiction. Fifth place, Kolmanskop, Africa. 1 second ago, Kolmanskop was a shining star town in southern Africa, but the next second, all the people in the town suddenly disappeared and turned into a ghost town. This small town in the desert is now buried in yellow sand, with only ruins left, silently telling of its former prosperity. Kolmanskop was the first city in Africa to have a tram, and it once attracted much attention for its rapid development. In the early 20th century, Kolmanskop, as a German colony, was found to contain huge diamond mines. This discovery attracted gold diggers from all over the world. As the mines were mined out, people who came here to pursue their dreams could only return disappointed. The rapid decline of the town was not only due to the reduction of diamond reserves, but also due to the lack of infrastructure and living conditions to sustain their livelihoods. When another mine with larger reserves was discovered in the neighboring area, people quickly moved away, and Kolmanskop was then completely abandoned in the desert. Today, walking among the ruins of Kolmanskop is like being in a dusty history. The prosperity of the past has become a ray of afterglow in the yellow sand, waiting to be rediscovered and remembered by the world. Sixth place, Fukushima, Japan. Fukushima, Japan, has only joined the list of ghost towns in recent years. The reason is simple. The transformation of Fukushima is similar to that of Chernobyl in Ukraine, both due to explosions at nuclear power plants. At the beginning of the 21st century, a nuclear power plant accident caused by a tsunami in Fukushima caused a serious nuclear radiation leak. After the accident, a 20-kilometer area centered on the Fukushima nuclear power plant was designated as a restricted area, prohibiting any human activities, and even curious tourists were not allowed to enter. Experts estimate that it may take nearly 40 years for the nuclear radiation in the Fukushima area to completely dissipate and reach a level that is harmless to humans. Even today, Cordons are set up around Fukushima to remind people not to trespass into restricted areas. After the accident, residents evacuated quickly, leaving behind a large number of cats, dogs, and other animals. Under the influence of nuclear radiation, these animals have undergone significant changes in body shape and have become the only biological guardians of the Fukushima area. Today, walking on the streets of Fukushima, those once bustling towns are now silent, as if time has stopped here, and only those animals mutated by radiation still linger here. 7th place, Dalal, Ethiopia. If you mention the coldest place in the world, I believe many people can give a direct answer. But do you know where the hottest place in the world is? In Ethiopia, there is a place called Dalal, which is known as one of the hottest regions on Earth. The surface temperature here averages more than 34 degrees Celsius throughout the year. Unlike the Huayan Mountain in Xinjiang, China, which is only hot during a certain period of time, Dalal has high temperatures all year round. The extreme climate has made the city officially recognized as a ghost town, and almost no one can live here for more than half a year. Dalal is not only hot, but also has an air humidity of up to 60%. The green or blue pools commonly seen on the surface are actually deadly sulfuric acid pools. If you accidentally fall into them, almost no one will survive. In addition, the sulfur pools caused by the high temperature on the surface continuously release toxic gases, which are even more difficult to identify at night. People here hardly go out at night to ensure their safety. The extreme environment of this place makes it an awe-inspiring and difficult-to-survive area on Earth. 8th place, Cleveland, USA. Friends who are familiar with the NBA must be familiar with the city of Cleveland. Although it is not a big city among many cities in the United States, it is a city with a long history. Cleveland was the economic and industrial center of the United States before the 1950s, attracting a large number of immigrants. By 2011, the population had reached more than 20 million. It was once one of the important areas for industrial and economic development in the United States. However, with the financial crisis and the shift of the focus of development in the United States, Cleveland has gradually been marginalized and has now become the city with the highest crime rate in the Midwest. 1,500 people out of every 100,000 people are involved in violent crimes, and 4,500 people are involved in property crimes. The unemployment rate ranks first in the country, reaching 6.5% in 2022. The poverty rate is 35.2%, and the juvenile violent crime rate is 4 times the national average. Although Cleveland is known as the Forest City and has a good natural environment, the living environment has deteriorated seriously, and the city's transformation and development are not smooth, making it a hotbed for crime. Number 9. Oradour, France. Have you ever heard of a ghost town haunted by ghosts? This is the town of Oradour, located on the banks of the Glane River in France. This town has an important position in history, especially during World War II. Although Oradour did not suffer much damage from artillery fire after the end of World War II, we can still see the buildings of that time today. But such a once prosperous town turned into a ghost town overnight. All this stems from the cruel orders of the German army during World War II. At the end of the war, the German troops stationed here received orders from their superiors to gather all the prisoners, shoot them with machine guns, and then burn them alive. There were only a few survivors of this massacre. Therefore, every night, there are often wailing sounds here. It is said that many tourists who come here have heard or seen the shadows of wronged souls. To date, this town has been completely abandoned and almost no one dares to live here. 10th place, Cheyenne, Chile. Before understanding the formation of this ghost town in Chile, we need to know that Chile is located in the Pacific seismic belt and suffers from various natural disasters all year round. During the 2008 Beijing Olympics, a huge volcanic eruption occurred in the Cotacavado region in southern Chile. The volcanic ash was ejected to an altitude of 17,000 meters, covering the entire Chile. After the volcanic eruption, heavy rain followed, which washed a large amount of volcanic ash to the vicinity of the river mouth, causing the river to surge and form a flood disaster. The local residents who originally depended on it for survival were forced to leave their hometown, and the city became deserted and became a ghost town in Chile. Today, the volcano is still an active volcano and may erupt again at any time, making young people unwilling to choose to settle here. If you come here to travel, you can still see scattered volcanic ash in the city and even find houses destroyed by floods, as if time has gone back and witnessed the disaster of that year. Well, the video ends here. The above are the 10 most terrifying cities in the world. Which city impressed you the most? Feel free to leave a message below to share your views.